Dr. Fahmi Farah, cardiologist and board-certified invasive cardiologist at Bentley Heart, at Fahmi J. Farah on Twitter. Thank you, doctor, for joining us this evening.
Thank you so much for having me.
So let's talk a little bit about this. It's the Halloween weekend coming up, and you have possibly, scary movie marathons and things that will maybe increase the heart rate a little bit coming up. What do you see happening in the way of heart health this weekend?
For the most part, it's not an issue. Some amount of fear we can all handle. It all depends on the person's ability to handle it. So much of fear is actually good because, for instance, if we are not afraid not afraid of having a heart attack, then we will not eat healthy. So that's a different type of fear. But at the same time, if we get a sudden jolt of something super scary or like going to a haunted house, for instance, that could be a lot to take for somebody with pre-existing condition like heart disease, just because it can cause a surge of stress hormones to be released and cause sudden spike in heart rate and blood pressure and can lead to some dangerous things like a heart attack.
So is there a higher risk now than before the pandemic for these adverse reactions?
It's hard to say, but it is possible because in the last 2.5 years during the pandemic, a lot of people, they kind of refrained from going to their regular checkups, didn't take their medications as well. And so risk factors have gone up. So we can expect to see more people with heart conditions that have not quite been diagnosed. And so these people are unaware of what the condition of their health is. And if they get suddenly scared or their blood pressure goes up super high, they can have a cardiovascular event like a heart attack or a stroke. So it's hard to say whether we'll truly see an increase or not, but it is possible.
So what is your advice for people who are listening to this interview and thinking, I haven't been for my annual checkup or what have you? What are some steps that you would say people should take immediately to get in a better place with their cardiovascular and heart health?
At the start would, of course, be on your own. You can start at any time, a heart-healthy diet, checking up with your regular physician, routine checkups, lab work, getting an EKG done. If you're having symptoms like chest pain, shortness of breath, any of those need to be checked by a cardiologist to get routine checkups. Just to know where you are, looking after your risk factors, those who have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, making sure that your numbers are good by getting a lab work done, and making sure that you're staying compliant with your medications, eating healthy, exercising, sleeping well. All those are very important.
All right. So then there's the converse of our initial conversation, Dr. Farah, which is, are there health benefits in watching scary movies?
I'm not so sure there are any true health benefits in watching a scary movie. It does give you a sudden rise in certain hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which is our fight or flight response, which could be good in certain situations when you need to be saved. Like if somebody attacks you, that's the same hormone that will kind of save you and give you the energy you need to run and save yourself. But in a setting of watching a scary movie, does it have true health benefit? I don't believe it does.
All right. So, I was asking that because there is there's this article at starburstmagazine.com, health benefits of watching horror movies you've never known before. Horror movies can burn calories, and it goes down all these different things. Relieve stress and anxiety, helps release helpful hormones, decrease depression. And then it lists some of the top horror movies that exist. And so, it feels a little satirical to me, but it is here for people to kind of read and, spur them into some what they might think is fun for the weekend.
Yeah, I don't think that watching a horror movie can really help us burn too many calories to where it makes a significant difference in weight loss or anything like that. So I would have to say that a health benefit would be minuscule from watching scary movies.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I don't really enjoy them anymore. I was talking to my husband about it the other day, and we have come up with what is probably not an original thesis, but in our minds, it's really fun to watch horror movies when you're a teenager or in your 20s because life is still pretty safe for you. But then you get married and you have a child or two, and all of a sudden those movies had no appeal to me at all. It's as if real life was scary enough. I didn't need to be scared.
I totally
with
agree with you. My goodness, you actually said exactly how I feel about scary movies. I used to love them when I was in high school. But as I got older, with so many things going on in life, it's like, nope, no thank you to scary movies. I just want my rom-com and just have my relaxation moments.
We literally just watched a rom-com the other night, and I was poking fun at my husband because we used to trade. I'd have to watch a movie that was about war or, you know, some kind of like rescue movie or something. And then the trade-off was he'd have to watch a rom-com with me. And so that was our way of like, you know, I'm doing something, you're doing something, we join these together. But now if I say, oh, I want to watch this movie, and, you know, he'll kind of just sit there and I'll find him laughing along with it too. And, you know, that's a change too. That like all of it, I guess it's the stage of life you're in, which kind of determines whether it's fun anymore. Because I haven't seen a scary movie in so long. I have no idea what's out in the way of horror. I think it's all zombie movies now, maybe.
I'm the same way. And in fact, I find myself watching Disney movies most of the times nowadays.
Well, you know what? So that means you have some littles at your house, which I'll just say, Dr. Farah, those are the fun years when all of the movies are from Disney. Come on.
Well, I don't have any little ones, but I watch it myself. I
you
find
know
it
what?
fun because
my sister did that, and she doesn't have any kids, and she always watches the Disney movies, and we have watched them together. When I visited her in Virginia, just the two of us, we've watched Disney movies together by ourselves. So they are good for adults as well.
Fun. Yeah,
yeah. Well, until the littles make their appearance, if that's in the future, we're so grateful that you would join us on a Friday night for a little bit lighter conversation away from politics. Dr. Fahmi Farah, thank you so much for coming on to discuss this very, very important issue.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a lot of fun. Thanks. I enjoyed it.
Have a great night and great weekend.